very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadel Cabrera here for our usual political conversations that are very simple, truthful and biased with Herman Manyora puts them across in a hard-hitting way. He's here. How are you?
Fine.
2 days after Maandamano, we are seated here looking at the situation in the country. Tough talk again from both sides. Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna comes out and says, "You cowards, arrest us. If you can, we are ready to go to face the law." Raila Odinga says, "Oh, this is not new to us. They know they are going to arrest Eugene Wamalwa, Martha Karua, arrest us too." Kindiki Kithure, the CS for Interior, says, "Look, this is not going to happen again. We've banned all protests in the country." This is the situation we have, Prof. We've said we're inching closer to anarchy. President William Ruto says this is not going to bring down the cost of living. Just a summary of what is happening from where you sit. You went to Luombe, you're back again, but what do you think is happening?
Allow me to talk about Luombe. I was on KTN today and I've been telling my fellow panelists and the host, if you go to the village, you come back depressed. The level of suffering in the villages in this country is depressing. The poverty is biting. You look at the hopelessness. The situation must change. Otherwise, we have no country. Whatever little, of course, there was a country. So whatever little is left of it. To your question about all those things you have mentioned, both sides talking tough, it's not necessary. Not necessary. A Maasai friend of mine called Noah. He called me yesterday before I went to NTV and said, "Tell Kenyans a few things about the reality." And he gave me a Maasai saying that two proud eagles cannot create a territory because you'll fight and die, both of you. So which territory are you going to create? That applies to the situation we are in. We are in a bad situation. We are about to lose this country as we know it. We have already lost a significant part of what was Kenya. The remaining will go.
How many lives should be lost for people to at least consider talking now? Because we tried bipartisan, it didn't work.
When you are talking about life, we saw life casual about death. 52 people died at Londiani, nothing. 14 people demonstrators shot by police. It's just normal. We have normalized things like death. It's just normal. So you cannot ask me how many people will die for these for things to work. The next death is not about a Kenyan. The next death is about Kenya, the country. That's the one which is going to die before our own eyes. And that's why I invite President Ruto to stop talking the way he's talking. To ask his people, starting with the deputy president, to stop talking the way they are talking. Because, look, Kindiki can stop Maandamano. Yes. His interior CS, he can stop. Ruto can say there will be no more Maandamano. But first you will have to suspend the constitution. Yeah. Suspend the constitution and rule by decree. Then you can say there is no Maandamano. Because before you suspend the constitution and rule by decree, there's no way you can suspend provisions of the constitution. And one of them is that Kenyans, given their history, decided they will give Kenyans the liberty to picket, to demonstrate, to go on strike, unarmed and peaceful. You can't remove it from the constitution unless you either amend the constitution through a referendum, if you wish, or suspend the constitution and rule by decree. Then you can declare Maandamano illegal. And when once you talk, I am inviting the president and his team, and I've done this many times, if you remember. Stop talking. When you talk too much, you give some. When the president says, for example, "I will not allow any more death," what does it mean in English? It means you have been allowing the others. And you can allow more. So when you talk, you make blunders. "I will not allow another Kenyan to die."
So that means
it means you've been allowing in the past, and you have the power to allow in the future.
When you say we stop the constitution, does this mean we need to go to a place of state of emergency for at least for some sanity?
Yeah, what the Kindiki wants is like we suspend the constitution. That's then he will have the power to do the things he's talking about. But so long as we are operating under the constitution, Kindiki doesn't have the power he's trying to give himself.
There are blame games right, left and center. Raila has been profiled as a bloodthirsty politician. This other side says, look, if you don't bring the police, then people will not die. These blame games, where will they take us?
Even the president himself said, and he was quoting Winston Churchill, a time comes when it does not matter who is right, who is wrong. We are long past that time. Whether it's Raila wrong or Ruto we are past that stage. We now have a country to save from destruction. Period. That finding out who is wrong will not help this country. We will not help us in stopping this country from going to destruction, to anarchy. No. If we find it's Raila who is wrong, it won't stop us heading to anarchy. If we find his Ruto is wrong, it won't stop the anarchy that I'm seeing just tomorrow. If you saw Wednesday.
You listened to Edwin Sifuna again. I was listening to him and he was saying, look, we tried this bipartisan way, and these people they brought could not even make a single decision without calling the president, without asking for his way forward when it comes to these talks. If we go back there again, and you always say, let's go talk, then how should we go through it?
You see, when we say let's talk, we don't mean let's be childish. Let's engage in childish games. Those were childish games. We can't go back there. But Kenyans need a conversation to sit on a table and talk about their country and find a way forward. That is necessary. But the route of the bipartisan, from the word go, I didn't even see it going anywhere. That was used by the government to buy time, hoping that with the time, these things will fizzle out. But unknown to them, it was not about Raila. You could even convince Raila to call off these things forever. But you won't stop the people, because the people are being led by hunger, not by listening to Raila. What is taking people to the streets is the hunger, is the pain of being a Kenyan today.
If you were to talk to Ruto then, because I'm looking at remember when Raila was calling for mother of all mandamanos, and then we had this mandamano this Wednesday, how is the graph looking like when it comes to the scale of this protest, and what should he do moving forward? Because Raila says we have this 5-day mourning period, but we're coming back again next Wednesday.
If you look at what happened on Wednesday, that was sheer madness. You can't have 3 days of such. You'll burn the country. But I know many people are not seeing. When we talk, they think we are cowards. Let me tell those people who think we are cowards, they cannot be anywhere near where some of us are. The things some of us have gone through. And I hear people calling me cowards. A coward, because I'm appealing for talks, for sense. You know? Just people to see the danger ahead. That doesn't turn me into a coward.
You won't change your mind despite the comments we get. Tell Raila to continue pushing on.
Yes. Even Baba himself was telling him, these days you are not as hard biting as used to be. But that's not the point. The point is, I am not actively involved in politics. There I can see what they can't see. What I am seeing what Raila is not seeing. I'm seeing what Ruto is not seeing. What I'm seeing beyond what they are seeing is a Kenya that will look something like Kenya but not Kenya. We are about to lose this country. If you saw Wednesday, with a keen eye, including stage managed things. Somebody told me today, that if you look at the coordination of the Wednesday Mandamano, then you cannot escape asking yourself, what could have happened if Azimio had coordinated their election the way they coordinated Wednesday? So forget about that issue of elections. The element of coordination, you could see it. In other words, these demonstrations are being run now more or less in a scientific manner. That the people are getting more organized to face the police. And soon they will overpower the police. Secondly, there are people who think they can play tricks and stage manage certain things so that one side is blamed. They are also wrong, because people are intelligent. The age in which we live, people can look at what is happening on expressway look at where the police are, how the police are reacting, and then who they are going to shoot. They can add 2 and 2 and they get some answers. So I'm advising anybody who think they are being clever from either side to stop being clever in the interest of this country and our children and their children. Stop being clever. You can't be too clever. People read through your game. Like the bus which was burnt here.
Yeah.
People ask the owner of the bus, because you are saying you borrowed money, and the bus didn't even have insurance. Who lends you money with to buy a bus that doesn't have insurance? Okay, granted, Sako can give you money without bothering where you are paying, where you are taking it. But would you put your millions
on the road
without insuring it? So you can see when you try games, they come out cheaply.
No, I'd hate to ask this, but it seems like you're comparing both sides at the same time. Does this mean there is a side that is on top of the game when it comes to this protest? Would you say that Ruto is in charge, or Raila has his people ready?
I don't think any side. I'm not happy with any side. Either side. I'm saying no. There will be no winners in this game. I mean, that's the bottom line. The bottom line, there will be no winners. The government cannot manage to control the riots. They don't have the capacity.
You know, Gachagua,
they don't.
The deputy president.
Gachagua should be told, you can talk tough, but you don't have the capacity.
He says it's high time we deal with Raila.
How?
This way since 1982.
Yes.
He says
it will end with Raila.
It's high time we deal with him.
It started with Raila, it will end with Raila. The question is, what capacity does he have? And Raila is not a human being. Who told you Raila is a human being?
He's not.
Yeah, is he a human being?
He doesn't have flesh and blood.
Raila is a spirit. So how do you kill a spirit?
Huh?
How do you kill a spirit?
He doesn't have this.
I'm looking for Gachagua to tell him, Raila is a spirit. When you are dealing with Raila, you are dealing with spirituality, not a human being. And he said as much. I'm a Juzi. If you kill Eugene, there will be another Eugene. You arrest mother, there will be another mother. What is he trying to say? This thing is within the people now, not with the leaders. In fact, and I've heard people say this, and I'm very happy when I hear people say, I don't know, this is Sifuna or somebody, because I've been saying it alone. Now people are picking up. What I've been saying all along is this. You are better off dealing with a structured opposition.
Oh, that was Sifuna.
Yeah, it was Sifuna. And you know, I've been saying it many times on our shows.
Yes.
You are better off dealing with a structured opposition, which has a central command. If the central command collapses, and you have nobody to go to negotiate with, and I've given examples of places like Central African Republic, a bit of Sierra Leone and places of that nature, Mali and the rest, you cannot end the problem. If people are in town rioting and doing all manner of things, and there's no Raila to talk to, at what point will you stop them?
Okay.
Let's say, look at Wednesday, and I'm addressing myself to some of these guys who should be listening to me. Let's talk of Wednesday. Supposing Raila was not in the picture, or he decided, me, I've had enough of these people, let me go away. Do you think those people could go home? They will not go home. You try to shoot them, and the more you shoot at them, the more wild they become. That's another thing the government must know. The more you kill people, the more wild they become. You don't scare them. Soon death will be so normal to them. You get it? That's why I was saying in one of my videos, you'll be surprised. I think my last standalone video on Saturday. You'll be surprised when you watch TV, Yemen, Syria, all those chaos places where bombs are dropping every day, and you think life is not going on. Life is going on. Children are going to school. Businesses are open. A bomb drops there. People go to the bunker. It is over. They open their shop. Like Kikuyus did in 2007. I thought they would never go back to places. I found out that they were there again. The spirit of the Kikuyu businessman. I never thought they would go back. But they went back. They built on the ashes. Imagine, after what people went to 2007, 2008. So the same in those places. People have gotten used to bombs and gunfire. We don't want to bring that here.
Getting used to
where when people hear the police, tear gas, there's nothing. So it will now move from political interactions with the police to normal crime-related interaction, where people will not obey the police. Where boys will look at the streets, like happen in some countries. Things can happen to you in the streets of Johannesburg. Things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things, daylight.
The police are just there watching.
People just enter a train and rob everybody. And in some countries, police have ceased to matter. We don't drive in that direction.
And who's the driver now? Who's the driver if it comes to driving? This
One, we don't apportion blame. That's where we begin. But two, we must be honest with ourselves. And following from that, we must say the guy with the greatest responsibility must be the first to come down. The saying that be the bigger brother. Be the bigger
brother.
When people are disputing over land, you are 6 brothers. Oh, mimi nimepewa kidogo, nini wametoa panga. Sema okay. Instead of my 5 acres, which is my right, I'm taking only 2. Gawaneni hizo 3. Then they look at each other. They go, tomorrow when they come, and you have brought the survey already. They say no.
Everything comes.
They say, no. No, yeah, you be the bigger brother. It is the president to be the bigger brother. It is the president to calm down. And beginning by telling his lieutenants, stop talking about these matters. As I seek Raila, nyinyi mnyamaze. Kama maji ndani ya fridge, ama mtungi ya Luombei. We have our own traditional fridge, which is a pot. It is placed in such a way, water is as cold as if it's coming from a fridge. Munyamaza namna hiyo. Let me look for my brother, Raila Odinga, and we sit down and talk. You will come in later. That's how it should be. The way Uhuru and Raila looked for each other, without involving their lieutenants. If they had attempted to involve Ruto, Mudavadi, Kalonzo, and the rest, that thing would never have taken off.
Okay.
So Ruto should tell his people, keep quiet. Mambo ya Raila na mambo ya Azimio na mambo ya nini, wachieni mimi. Nataka kutafuta Raila na msiniulize. Akae na Raila, ambia Raila, unajua mimi nimeshinda hii kitu. Raila asema uliiba, asema lakini Raila, umewahi kusikia wapi kura iko ya haki? Hata ya kanisa iko haki. Kura ni kama mpira. Hata ukiingiza na mkono kama ile alikuwa anaitwa Maradona, the goal, hand of God. Bora referee amesema katikati. Ama ni uongo? Hata hii VAR, si tunaonanga makosa inafanya. Lakini amesema wapi? Mpira iende katikati ianze, hiyo ni goal. So Ruto amwambia, hii yangu wachana naye. Hii State House, gani ingine, IBC, tufanye namna gani? Cost of living, what proposal do you have? That is possible. It is nothing difficult. Then watuita hata sisi. Tuwasaidie kidogo.
Upate consultation fee.
Kubwa.
Thank you so much for tuning in into a conversation about the country. How long will we take for things to get fixed? How long will the president take for him to calm down and seek Raila Odinga so that we at least have a country, and we say we have a country. Until we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.